Thank the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Crane, and now recognize the gentleman from Rhode Island, Mr. Magaziner.
Thank you, Chairman. Since taking office, President Trump and Secretary Noem have eliminated 1/3 of the workforce at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA. The President's 2026 budget also calls for nearly $500 million to be cut from CISA. And reports have indicated that staff at CISA have been reassigned, diverted to immigration and other matters. These actions weaken our cyber defenses and undermine federal collaboration with industry and critical infrastructure organizations. The administration has cut or withheld hundreds of millions of dollars in funding for terrorism prevention. Highly trained counterterrorism analysts are being diverted away from investigating terrorist groups to focus on other work. Daily intelligence reports to top officials about terrorism and other threats are being directly impacted by the diversion of resources. As our adversaries like Russia and China intensify their cyber attacks on the U.S. telecommunications system and our critical infrastructure, the administration instead is focused on deporting children with cancer, United States veterans who served our country honorably. Even American citizens have been detained, green card holders, sending armies of masked men to terrorize neighborhoods. A 4-year-old U.S. citizen child with cancer is not a threat to the security of the United States. Attacks on subsea cables are. So why is the administration diverting resources away from addressing real threats to our telecommunications infrastructure, to other critical infrastructure, and instead focusing on deporting children and grandmothers and landscapers and other people trying to make a living? It doesn't make America more safe. We need to refocus on real national security threats, including the threats that we are talking about today. Mr. Frazier, do funding and personnel cuts at CISA weaken our ability, impact our ability to detect and deter threats to subsea cables?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Magaziner. I think there's a real need to make sure that we have a workforce that's scaled to the threats we're facing on a daily basis. As we've heard from a number of the panelists, the number of cables is going to increase over time. The interest in upsetting and perhaps tapping into just a fraction of those cables is going to increase. And so making sure that we have a workforce that's able to handle the increased volume and potential attacks is of paramount significance. I'd also note that there are deeper or perhaps even less popular topics to discuss with respect to the workforce efficiencies we're seeing. Cable repair ships, it's not a job you hear a lot about. You don't meet a cable repairman very frequently at Subway or wherever you go. And so making sure that we are training the next generation of folks to staff those maintenance ships is another area of critical importance.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that. You know, I come from Rhode Island, where we have a growing and thriving industry in underwater technology, including autonomous systems that I think are very relevant in this space, and we need to continue to invest real resources in this area. Again, just to the point of investing to protect ourselves from the actual threats, not deporting kids. I'll ask any of you, I mean, has the administration, I haven't seen it. I'm glad that our committees here, our subcommittees here are addressing this issue, but has the administration communicated to any of you any sort of a comprehensive plan for how the federal government is going to work with industry to address these threats? Yeah, see, you don't have to answer. I think the silence says it all. So again, I mean, this is about making sure that we as a government are focused on where our greatest threats are. And this is one, no doubt about it. I read all of your testimony. I think it's important. I think it's insightful. We absolutely need to be prioritizing this space. And I hope that the administration will listen. With that, I'll yield back.